Hi, we're going to get started here with another program example in Python. This one is using list elements in a math expression. So Megan owns a small neighborhood coffee shop and she has 6 employees who work as baristas. These are coffee bartenders. All of the employees have the same hourly pay rate. Megan has asked you to design a program that will allow her to enter the number of hours worked by each employee, then display the amounts of all the employees' gross pay. You determine the program should perform the following steps. For each employee, get the number of hours worked and store it in a list element. For each list element, use the value stored in the element to calculate an employee's gross pay, then display the amount of the gross pay. So we're going to go ahead and get started with this. I'm going to bring up Python. I've already got Python open, so I'm just going to bring it up. And then I'm going to open up a new file. And we'll get started putting in the code here. So I'm going to leave the comments out of the design that I have to make it a little bit easier just to type the program in. So we're going to start off with a constant to give the number of employees. So we can call it num underline employees, and that's going to be equal to 6. Whoops. There we go, equal to 6. Start with creating our main program. In the main program, what we want to do is we want to set up a list for the number of employees. So I'm going to do hours equals, and then in brackets I'm going to put in a 0 times num employees. So that'll set up hours as being 6 elements, because we have 6 number of employees, and each one's going to be initialized to the value 0. We're going to do a for loop for index in range num employees. We're going to set hours, hours sub index as equal to, then we'll do an input here, use F, hours worked by employee, and then in our curly braces, index plus 1, colon space, and then end the quote. Okay, so when I think I may have left something off here. Yes, I did. I need a float over here. There we go. So what's going to happen then is the input then is going to format this output. It's going to do hours worked by employee index, and then the first time through, index will be 0, so it would be 0 plus 1, so it would be 1. So employee 1, colon space. When we enter the value, it'll be converted into a float and then stored into hours 0. And then the next time through, it will do it for hours 1. Okay. So we're done with the for loop. Next we want to do is enter the pay rate. The pay rate will be equal to float input hourly pay rate, and then we'll do a run through a for loop to display the information. So for index in range num employees, gross pay is going to be equal to hours index times pay rate. And then we'll print this out. So we have F to format it, gross pay for employee, then we do index plus 1. So the first time through, index will be 0, so it'll be for employee 1. And then we'll get the gross pay and format it with a comma dot 2F. So then all that's left to do is to call main, on that. So there we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and get this saved. And just in case I haven't mentioned it in some of the previous ones, or this is the only one that you've been watching on this, I set up folders out here so I know where everything is. And let's see, these are in my code one here, chapter 7, and this is math expressions. No, processing list, that one, okay. And the name I'm going to get it is process list.py. Save that, and then we'll run this and see what happens here. Okay, hours worked by employee 1, I'm going to do 10, and then I'm going to do 20, and then 30. Oh, sorry, this one's 15, and then 40. And just a second here, I got these typed in so I don't have to kind of think of what's going on and I get the right output to make sure everything's working right. 5 is 20, and 6 is 18. Hourly pay rate I'm going to do is 12.75, and the outputs we get 127.50, 255, 199 or 191.25, 510, 255 again because we had two 220s on there, and then 229.50. Okay. So I hope this helps you out on seeing how to use the list to store floating point values and use those in processing. Bye.